Star Hill was a place, when I bought it at that time in 1999, was a red light district. To my horror, when I bought it, there are so many people touting women on the streets.
When I very first came to this country, I remember friends teasing me, saying, look, you know, you're here alone from Europe, if you need any company, you should go to Bukit Bintang.
You can hear those sounds. What is that, you know? It's some girls looking for men.
That's why I had to create a street, a swanky street. I want to make it into a Ginza or Champs-Élysées. Make people appreciate the city again. Now, of course, you see more billions and billions of foreign investments are coming to this street as a result of what we did in 1999.
The redevelopment of Bukit Bintang is just one story in a country that is in the process of reinventing itself. Over the last 5 years, Malaysia has seen a growth in GDP of over double that of the USA. As an emerging economy, Malaysia is well aware of its responsibility to choose the right environmental stance at this crucial stage.
If Asia moves on with the GDP growth at 8% and we don't worry about the environment, it's going to destroy many coastal countries. That is a fact.
We have to move on this issue. We have to have leadership on this issue, and we have to move forward. The level of awareness of environmental protection is actually quite high on the agenda here in Malaysia. There are a lot of caring Malaysians here, and we just need to work on collectively actually engaging them.
Just down the road, a unique initiative has sprung up. A forest in the city, a green rooftop in Kuala Lumpur's skyline.
We revamped the rooftop to make it greener, and there's a lot of green foliage. There's an actor studio. It's like a whole community hub, but it's green. And we actually sort of affectionately termed it a place for the greenages. I love this term greenages because I think it applies to my generation as well. I think youth today are becoming more sophisticated and educated on this level.
But it's not just in the cities that raising awareness is essential. With 4,800 kilometers of coastline, JULIAN HYDE of Reef is trying to ensure that Malaysians are aware of what they stand to lose.
If you imagine all of the coastline that Malaysia has, there's a lot of different coral reefs, there's a lot of different environments. On average, they are in fair condition. But within that average, there are some that are very good and some that are very poor condition. The ultimate objective is coral reef conservation. And our goal is always to say coral reefs are valuable. Without the coral reefs, you're not going to have a livelihood. There won't be any tourism on these islands. There won't be any fish left in the sea. So we're using the data that we collect from the surveys to push that message, really.
We are borrowing this planet from our grandchildren and great-grandchildren, so we must return to them in a proper state.
Coming up, living the high life, KL style.
For ladies, you're spoiled for choice.
The petrol heads blazing a trail on the streets of Bukit Bintang.
How many cars do I own? I literally lost count.
And the watch addicts who'll travel halfway across the world just to see the latest timepiece.
A watch is alive. It's alive.
The Malaysian consumer is fast becoming a luxury aficionado. The market has grown rapidly over the last 10 years, finding a very fashion-savvy and discerning audience, especially amongst the ladies of Malaysian high society.
I think Kuala Lumpur women are very fashionable. They're well-travelled, well-spoken, and I think they're very knowledgeable.
They've got a certain sense of beauty in them, and that's the Asian beauty. And when you actually have that, it's just a strong sense of independence.
We have women in high positions, whether in society or the government or corporate sector, chairman of banks, for example, more so than in many other countries in the world.
All the ladies here are pretty brand conscious. They're into really details.
Gold is very important for Asians. You give gold when a baby is born, then you give gold at weddings.
You want to wear something with lots of heritage. You know, we try and design things according to the feelings and the emotions and the music and the people.
In Malaysia, I think it's unique because even with our traditional clothes, you can wear with modern stuff like the shoes, the handbag, the accessories. So the ladies can pull off the Western design, and you can do the Eastern design with the Western accessories. So I think we have the best of both worlds.
It's wonderful to be associated with that, and we're proud to have all these beautiful women.
Recently, top of these ladies' social calendar was Valentino's first haute couture show in Malaysia.
We are talking about unique pieces. It's a black collection, crowded with lace. That is an iconic sign of what Valentino is. The price of these garments are ranging from 30,000 to 150,000 euros.
That night, 8 dresses were bought at an average of 80,000 euros and another 6 put on reserve. 10 years ago, these ladies would have had to travel across the world to get their luxury fix. But surely events like these mean that our ladies can start shopping a little closer to home.
Now it's interesting that you can look out for things even in your own home.
Everything is now in KL, you know. Everyone from all around Asia actually shops in KL now. We have all the luxury brands nowadays in KL.
You have Chanel here, Louis Vuitton, and they're carrying latest stuff, no longer like before. It's like 3 months before, yeah? And if you're an ardent shopper, you want things at that moment and at that season. For ladies, you're spoiled for choice.
The latest craze to hit Malaysia is loud and expensive. With an import tax of up to 300%, collecting supercars here is not for the faint-hearted. But one man, JP Chin, is making sure that those who are brave enough have somewhere to rev their engines.
The Malaysians are getting a bit more affluent now, their earnings are better now. But unfortunately, we don't have the history of like the West, where how they take the sports car into a sport. What I'm trying to do over the last couple of years is basically to bring some fun into owning a sport car.
Just 5 years ago, scenes like this on the streets of Kuala Lumpur would have been unimaginable. But from the looks of it, it seems this little hobby can be quite addictive.
How many cars do I own? I literally lost count. I guess I have more than 20 cars.
After 6 months, I'll get tired of it and I find I can't sell it and I'll buy another one. And that's probably the biggest mistake I've ever made in my life.
Ferrari, the Lamborghini, the Porsche, you name it, I have it.
How we take care of the car tells us a lot about the sort of person I am. I'm a bit meticulous. I have an air-conditioned garage for the cars and a crew of people who takes care of them as well.
People here certainly aren't shy about flaunting cars or looking at cars or showing an interest in flash metal generally.